Hi, my name is Jessica Tincher, and I work for Hasomed Incorporated out of Port Charlotte, Florida. Today, I will be going over the basic presentation for RehaCom. I know that some of you may already be familiar with RehaCom, so I'll try to keep it as short as I possibly can, at least through the first part until we get into the actual program. If you have any questions or concerns after this presentation, go ahead and leave comments below or email me at jessica@hasomed.com. That's Hasomed. And I apologize ahead of time. It's allergy season and I'm stopped up. So hopefully this goes smoothly. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera and share my screen with you. Okay, so RehaCom is a product of Hasomed GmbH from Germany. It is a computerized cognitive rehabilitation software. It's 25 years in the making. It's still continuing. It's scientifically backed by research and clinical studies, and it is available in over 20 languages and has over 21 modules. The purpose of RehaCom is to help reestablish neuroplasticity within patients that have had any type of brain damage and or some mental disabilities. We do work with MS patients, TBI, stroke, um, Alzheimer's, just a whole range of different types of patients with cognitive deficits. So the good thing about RehaCom is that you can use it with patients from the first day they start rehab. It is an early rehabilitation software. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to look at is the structure of a therapy module. The good thing about RehaCom is that once you learn the structure of one therapy module, you then know the structure for all of the rest of the therapy modules within RehaCom. This first page shows attention and concentration level 1. Up here to the left, you see a column with a number at the top. The number is the level, and the bars beneath it are the progress within that level. If they get an answer correct, the bars increase. If they get an answer incorrect, then the bars decrease. What they're supposed to be doing is matching the picture that's on the right from the choices that they have in the center of the screen. As you can see, level 1 looks pretty easy. All three choices are different in color, shape, so they have to choose the correct answer. Here is level 8. As you can see, there are more choices to choose from. The color is a lot more similar to all of the rest of the choices, and there's a lot more detail within each picture. So it does get more difficult as they progress in the levels. Here's level 15. As you can see, there are even more choices, and it becomes even more difficult to where they have to tell the difference and compare the grass tufts or the number of envelopes, the writing on the envelopes, the flags. So as they progress and it gets harder for them, then it gets harder within the levels. There are over 1,600 different images within this module of RehaCom alone. So they will never get tired of looking at the same pictures. One of the best qualities of RehaCom is the automatic adaptation. What that means is RehaCom will recognize if a level is too easy, so it will bump them up faster to a more difficult level. If they're having difficulties, it will either keep them at that same level and continue challenging them at that level, which would be their threshold, or it might take them down a level if they're having just too much difficulty to where they're getting frustrated. The purpose of this program is to restore their peace of mind, restore their mind and their neuroplasticity. It's not to, you know, have them be frustrated and want to make them give up. So this should uh, RehaCom is one of the best cognitive rehabilitation softwares that are out there right now. After they complete a module, you can go view their results. RehaCom records everything from their reaction times to what level they ended at within that session, how long it took them to get through the session. It records everything. So this is a sample of a results table, and as you can see here, it says less details, so they hit more details, and then these two graphs popped up. It has the course of training, the session number. They've done 3 sessions, and they've gotten up to level 8, it looks like, 7 or 8, can't tell. And here you can see the course of the session, the number of tasks they've completed, uh, what side of the brain worked faster. It has everything that you would need to know results wise. Now, after you view the results, if you think that maybe the session was too long or the level was too easy, you would have to go to the parameters menu. Each module has its own parameters menu to allow customization. So each patient is different, and sometimes the parameters have to be as well. The duration of the session is automatically set at 30 minutes for attention and concentration. If you think 30 minutes is too long, you just click the down arrows and it will decrease. I will show you that later on within the actual RehaCom program. You can change the way they put in their answers. They could use a mouse, the arrow keys. If it's a touchscreen computer, they could use the screen, number keys, or a single key like the spacebar if they have dexterity issues. You can if they don't like the sound effects, if they get an answer wrong, it buzzes. So if they don't like that, you can change that as well. It is very customizable, and it's like this for every module within RehaCom. And then you continue the cycle. After you adjust the module to your patient's needs, you then continue again. So it's just the same cycle over and over again. And we have a specialized patient keyboard. It normally comes with every RehaCom package that is purchased. You can choose the option if you want. Some of you have purchased the keyboard, so you know about it. This keyboard is virtually indestructible. They can bang on it if they have trouble with their hands. It's not going to break. So it's a really nice keyboard to have. This is the therapy module structure for divided attention. As you can see, it's the same cycle. Spatial attention, same cycle. Alertness, and so on and so forth. In attention, there are 9 modules. The reason for this, that it has so many modules, and each module has a varying amount of levels. So one level can have 50 50 levels. One module could have 50 levels, or the next module could have 15. So um, the level of difficulty can definitely vary between each module. Attention is the foundation for everything else. You can't remember anything. You can't go to the grocery store and use money or anything like that if you don't have attention down. So we have a lot of modules pertaining to attention because normally when there's any type of mental deficits, it has to do with attention. So we need to make sure that their attention's good before we move on. Memory has 6 modules. 80% of uh, stroke and TBI patients have memory issues, so deficits. So we're going to go ahead. We went ahead and made 6 memory modules for the patients to work with. There are 3 executive function modules. Don't be discouraged by this. The levels go up very high, and the difficulty is outstanding with some of the higher levels. So we have 3 executive modules. Shopping, using money, planning their day, that sort of thing. And what makes us different is that we have 3 visual modules. We have 2 compensative modules and 1 restorative. The compensative modules obviously would be easier for them to work with. It would be the short term goals of just learning to live with the eyesight that they have if it's been affected by stroke or TBI, etc. But we do have 1 restorative. It takes a longer period of time, but we do have that available. And those are our modules. We also have 9 screening modules. This is extremely important. I couldn't stress this enough. We have had clinical studies done where they have forgotten to use the screenings, and it doesn't show as much progress as it could have. So the screening modules, there's 9 of them. They test working memory, divided attention, alertness, memory for words, etc. It will be a starting point for you and your patient. So, and it will also suggest after the screening is completed where to begin and what to work on, if what deficits that they have found while the patient was doing the screenings, etc. So the screenings are very good. It shows the patient where they're at now, and then after about 10 to 15 sessions you screen again for the same screening, and you can show them their progress and show them how far they've come. So it's a great program here. So after the screenings, and they suggest where to start, or you as a therapist, you have complete control over everything. So if you want to continue on and start their patient where you think they need to be started, you go ahead. So after the screenings, you complete some modules. And again, like I said, after 10 to 15 sessions, you screen again and show them their cognitive progress. I'm going to speed through this because a lot of you have already seen this video. Screen your client, choose the appropriate therapy module, individualize the therapy using the parameters menus that I showed you and will show you in the RehaCom program, actually have them complete the therapy and then analyze the results and start the cycle over again. Advantages of RehaCom: there's over 20 therapy modules. Um, like I said, from severe, it treats everyone from severe cognitive impairments after stroke and TBI up to mild cognitive impairments in geriatrics. We have our special keyboard for our patients. It's available in over 20 languages, and I will show you that. And it's developed by leading researchers. It's evidence based on scientific theory, much more than the brain jogging applications that are out there that you can download to your phone. So that's RehaCom in a nutshell. If you have any more information, or if you require any more information, you could go to www.rehacom.us or .com. Both work. So now we're going to go ahead and open RehaCom. And here we go. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to add a therapist. You just hit the therapist tab on the left here. It'll open the list of therapists and you can hit new. So you can, the only fields that are required to fill in are the 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 sections with the green background. I know it's backwards from what we're normally used to, but Europeans do things a little bit differently than we do. So I'm going to put myself in here, and I'll just say outpatient here. You can create a password if you would like to. 123, 123, and that way everything is protected. You don't have to have that if it's just you. So then you would just hit select. Now I have no patients, so I'm going to change it back to Tracy. Tracy is a demo therapist here. And for the clients, you just do the same thing. You click the clients tab to the left, or you can click the clients tab at the top and hit new or select or edit. So I'll go ahead and click clients. Now to create a new client, you just hit new. Again, only the green fields. So I will again put myself in as a patient. The birth date and the gender are extremely important for this. The reason why is because the normative data that we use within our screening modules and for the results and their progress, we use it on generalized data for their age and gender. So my results are not going to be compared to an 85-year-old male's results. My brain should be working at a faster pace and should be it just should be easier. So they're obviously going to compare my results to other mid 20-year-old females. Here is where you choose the language. As you can see, there's German, English, Italian, Hebrew, Russian, Danish, Ukrainian, etc. The best thing that I can say about these choices here, is if I was, let's just say, if I spoke Italian, I could choose Italian. Now, my therapist might not speak Italian, and that's okay. The main menus of RehaCom would stay in English until I opened the module itself, and then it would be in Italian. So it only changes languages once the patient actually takes over, not the therapist. And here you can also have a login name and a password. Okay, and we'll just run through the tabs really fast. Payment, I don't think this is necessary for a lot of anyone. You don't normally, they don't go through the program. They have their own programs used at hospitals or uh, group homes or wherever this is being used. If it's at home use, obviously you don't need this. Therapy modules, the client therapy modules that is used by frequency, you can move them over or move them back just by clicking the arrows here. Again, not necessary. File, this you can type in any notes. Jessica is dyslexic, has um, damage to the frontal lobe, etc. So you can type in anything that about the patient that you want. You can let them know how they've been progressing. You can type notes each time they complete a session, etc. You can put in their diagnosis here, and everything. You can put in anything you want there. Prescriptions, if you're not specifically going to be with a client singularly, or you might be on vacation for a week, but you still want them to complete their therapy, you can actually schedule them their therapy. You click on the day, and you can change the parameters and everything within this menu. You can say, okay, I want Jessica to do this on Friday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And it changes the dates automatically here. And you can allow them to repeat it if they didn't feel like they did well. You can ask for their feedback. The instructions that are at the beginning of every module, you can either include it automatically with or without. It's all up to you. And then you can change, okay, I want to do divided attention too. And then you just hit okay. And there you are. So they have their prescription, which is what this is called in the program, but you have their schedule. So you can do this for each day and each module. You can get rid of it if you like. And you can share your client with a different therapist. Again, if you're going to be gone and you want to share your patient might need help, then you could share it with a different therapist. And this is all up to you. So after all of that is completed, you just hit okay. I've done that before and put in my name, so it was just letting me know that I existed before. And then you just hit select. So what I'm going to show you now is, here are the therapy modules, all therapy modules here. Attention, as you can see, attention is divided into multiple subcategories. There is memory, executive functions, and visual field. And then if you click on the screenings tab, here are all of your screenings. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a demo patient. Now, this is real patient data that was released and put into our demo package. So what I'm going to show you, let's just see. Okay, this is a severe patient with, let's see, reaction behavior. Let's look at the results. Let me show you what the results table would look like. Okay, this here is a results table for screenings. As you can tell, they did three different sessions, three different screenings for their reaction behavior alertness or their alertness here. Um, this is alertness without warning sounds. Selective attention speed, they only did one of these. But as you can see, this is where they started out. There's quite a few weeks. It's about 3 to 4 weeks between each session here. And when they first did their screening, they were three standard deviations away from the normal for their age and gender, from their norm. So as you can see, they were three standard deviations away from the norm. Now they were two deviations away, and then they got into the yellow area, which is acceptable. I think I want to say about 30% of the general population ends up in the yellow, and that's okay. Not everybody ends up in the green. So yellow is acceptable. Obviously, we're shooting for green. So as you can see here, this patient started to plateau a little bit, and this is probably around their threshold. They just have to keep working at it and trying. And as you can see here, they only did one of each. So as I told you, it would recommend to start with a therapy module, and it suggested that they start with reaction behavior. This is to improve their alertness because that is what they were screened for. Their selective attention was screened, and they need to work with responsiveness. So, if you, okay, I need to work with reaction behavior, you can start therapy module right there. You can also look at the details or print the screen. So you can definitely have them print it out to show their progress and really make them happy with how far they've gone. Now, let me see. Here we go. Look, this is, I went over to the therapy results and checked out verbal memory. They seem to have a lot of sessions. They have 11 sessions within this one. They really worked on their verbal memory here. As you can see, it lets you know the duration of the session. So a lot of them are 20 minutes long, it looks like. This one's 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And as you can see here, it tells you their total time, total training time, and it just grows and grows as they continue. So by session 11, they've spent 3 hours total within this session. You can hit more details, and here we see over the course of session 11, these are the tasks that they completed, uh, and this is the mistakes total for this session and the acquisition time. You can change that down here. Everything is here for you. I just double clicked on the bar, and it'll let you know the total mistakes and the response time, the reproduction time. Everything is here for you. And it changed to table and chart. Level progression is the easiest visual that we have. I would suggest printing this out for your patient just so they can see, okay, look how far I've come over time. These are the levels that I've gotten to, and I'm continuing to make progress. Uh, and here you can check the parameters for this for the session that they completed within the module. So it's all very detailed, it's all there. It makes it a lot easier to see their progress and their time. It's an amazing program. I do have to say that. So going back to screenings here, let's just say, okay, I really do need to work on my reaction behavior. I would just hit start therapy module. And I'm going to show you a parameters menu. If your patient does not have any severe deficits and is working at a pretty normal level, I would suggest starting at level 6. It seems to be the best level to start with. It's still super easy, but it definitely skips all of the very elementary baby steps that 1 through 5 levels will take the patient because of the severity of their deficits that they may have. So here you have the option to start with instruction, without instruction. If you want to change something, you can just hit continue to continue your session if you back out. Here's the parameter menu for reaction behavior. It's set at 20 minutes. You can change the level up and down. This means that if they get 95% of the answers correct, they will level up. if it's if they get 75% or below, they will level down. Anywhere in between should keep them at the same level. So if they get an 80%, they're going to repeat the lesson, the level that they have. um, you can definitely change the number of stimuli per level, the maximum reaction time, and everything. You can change everything. You can change it to have irrelevant stimuli to be even more challenging. They can have visual feedback and acoustic. It doesn't matter. These are just the defaults for this uh, particular module. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to start with instruction just to show you what a normal module would look like. To get out of any module, you hit the escape button. That is extremely important because I'm not sure if it says it in every module's instructions. So this module normally talks, and it describes this is important. You need to know, practice fast reactions. It's part of daily living. And so they practice reacting to traffic signs. And it lets you know what you have to do when you see a certain sign. The OK button is normally the space button or the enter button. It'll let me know if I press too early and I have to wait till the stop sign appears. So it'll let them know if they are doing something incorrectly or not. It lets them know to try to do it as quickly as possible, and we have to react to 4 signs. So yield is okay. Uh, the children playing is arrowed down, and then the left and right merging arrows it is left and right. So you would just hit OK. It leaves the key up so they don't have to memorize it. They just have to, react as quickly as possible. So if I get an answer, as you can see, every time that I have a correct answer, um, a bar increases on the right, and it has the bars where I either succeed or I don't with this level. So let me just get an answer wrong so I can show you what it would do. And it buzzed at me. So right now it's testing my reaction time, it's testing my visual field because the signs are popping up all over the screen. So I have to be paying attention to all sides of the screen. If I have damage on one side of my brain, it's going to affect my reaction time for uh, that side of the screen, for the opposite side of the screen. All right, so that's how it is. I hit escape, so I'm coming out of the module here. If you want to look at, let's see, so that was reaction behavior. And we have executive functions. And that's pretty much it. Let me show you uh, under the system tab, you can change the licensing mode. You can see your license. If you ever have any issues and you need to contact uh, tech support or anything like that, you click license. The license number is extremely important. It'll let you know where we need to be at, what system you have. Um, If anything's outdated, we can update it with your RehaCom ID, and then we would send you a file that you can upload using Code Disk. You can change it to patient mode. Again, this is for when you're not with your patient and for uh you have them scheduled for some therapy sessions alone. So it will only allow them to do the therapy sessions that you have set up for them. Under help, you can update RehaCom. What that does is it'll let you know if there's any updates. You have to be connected to the internet. Info, that will also tell you that I do need to update this. It lets you know where the distributor is, which is Hasomed GmbH. The software version, there is an actual updated version. It's point 0.2 at the end now, so I do need to update. But this is very important with tech support too. We'll know what version you're using, in the database version that you have. That's important. We can do we can send log files. This is if you find a problem with RehaCom, and or we can do remote control. So when you do this, let's see, you can say start service under the systems tab on the left, the bottom left, start service. This means that it's going to then start, your computer will start recording each keystroke that you make, each mouse click, whatever, and it will try to track the problem within RehaCom. And then after you're done, you would close it, you would save the file to your computer, and then you would send log files. So we'll get into all that in a different video. So that's basically what RehaCom is. It's a very simplistic system. It's all self-explanatory for the most part. So if you do have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Other than that, I think you're ready to use it. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and shoot me an email, and we'll get everything set up for you. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you found this video helpful.